Hey guys, welcome back to Anchored. I'm your host Jason Newell. I'm with Coach Jared and Coach Blair tonight. We are going to discuss CrossFit as a journey. It's something we kind of talked about probably a month or so ago, and we've been wanting to do this episode, but we just got busy. But basically, we've all been doing this for a little while now, and we have a lot of new people in the gym, and we just want to hit on this point that CrossFit's a journey, it's an experience. Don't rush it too fast. One thing you see is everyone gets in the gym, they get super excited, they want to hit like their new 1 rep snatch today. It's not necessarily that's not necessarily how it is. When you get to our level, like, you know, we might go a year before we PR something or something like that. And it's the journey every single day of working towards a new goal or something. So why don't you guys kind of tell me like your thoughts? I know Jared, you can talk deep on this.
Sure. Yeah, so I agree with that 100%. I remember a while back, or maybe when I first got into this, somebody said if you can get 1% better each day, I'd see you'll get 365% better a year. And if you had somebody like, maybe as an investment or something, you could get a 365% return on something, you would for sure do it. So I think we get caught up in trying to get 100% better, you know, at least once a week, it seems like. So just like you said, really taking your time and just trying to get a little bit better each day is pretty important. So not always easy to do. But.
Right. And then on the same token, it's not getting too frustrated if you don't see a big improvement. I know it's something I deal with. You know, you expect to be getting better, and sometimes your lift just isn't there, or, you know, pull-ups just aren't happening for you that day, and then you get frustrated. It's tough. But that's where it's so important as a long game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We sometimes we get into this. We think it's a competition. You know, we get competitive. For example, Blair is a competitive CrossFitter, but most of us, we're just doing this to be healthy. You know, we kind of beat ourselves up too much if, you know, we don't do what we think we need to. You know what I mean? Well,
yeah.
Blair, what do you think about that?
Well, I'll tell you, I have a completely different mindset. My entire life, right now, was based off of competitive CrossFit. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I went to the gym at 9 o'clock. I didn't leave until 3:30. I had like 4 or 5 different workouts. Today after coaching, I was there for another 5 hours, and I only did 2 workouts. So, and that's all I did for the day besides running some errands for food and groceries, and basically the same thing I'm going to do the rest of the week except for coaching. This is all my life is focused on. So it's a lot different than for normal people, or
Right.
like for you guys. Like, some people might not find that as fun.
Right.
You do.
I do. I love it.
And that's what matters. Like what you just said, not getting caught up in times and stuff. Sometimes I'll catch myself getting worried about the times because that's what a lot of people are worried about. But I try to go back to like, why am I doing this? What's important to me? What's fun for me? For Blair, it's being super competitive, and that's awesome. That's what he is good at, and that's what he enjoys doing. For me, it's just trying to move the best I can for that day, pain-free, and just trying to be able to move if I go golfing that weekend or something like that. Like, that's why I like being in shape.
Right.
That's the end game for me. So maintaining that and remembering that during the day, you know, when I'm working out, I'm not focused on my time. I'm just focused on whatever I'm trying to accomplish that day. It's not necessarily that competitive level. That's where I'm at in my journey, and that's what keeps it fun for me.
Right.
So.
I can literally remember times where I saw a workout and I knew I should be doing good on that workout, and I'd be stressed all day about worrying about what happens if I don't do good on it.
Been there. I have been.
And so like for Blair, that's important because he needs to push himself that way. For 99% of us who are just trying to get better, like you said, to do stuff outside of the gym, you know, if you're a parent and you just want to run around with your kids, that stress is probably worse for you than, you know, just not caring and just going and doing your best. right? But at the same time,
You gotta care a little bit.
right. Not saying don't care at all, because then you're never going to push yourself. You're never going to make
This
progress.
isn't a glow gym.
Right. The foundation of CrossFit is, like you said, getting better 1% every day.
Sure.
So yeah.
I remember one time when I was going to a gym in Milwaukee when I first started, I would do the same thing. I couldn't wait to look at the workout because half the time I didn't know what the heck the movement was, so I'd like YouTube it. And I remember one time I looked on there and the website just said something like, "There will be a workout." And I'm like, "What? You can't say that. Like, you have to tell me what it is." And I'm expecting that and freaking out. And I got there and there was a workout, and then that was it. So whether you know the workout going in or whatever, maybe you can prepare differently, but you got to remember, like, you're going to the gym, you're going to work out, hopefully you give it a good effort, and you're going to leave with some kind of physical and mental benefit, you know?
Right. And the workout should be secondary to having fun, hanging out with your buddies, having a good time. Bust your butt in the workout for sure. Leave feeling accomplished. Should never feel like you did bad when you leave. That I think is, if that happens, then we're at the wrong point. Mm-hmm. Unless your goal is to be a competitive CrossFitter.
And I don't know, Blair, you can touch on this, but until you are at, like, I don't want to say your level, but even before that, it's like you need to focus on getting a little bit better each day. Like, you need to get very good at all the movements before you start trying to get great at them and RXing or whatever for the sake of RXing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
I think you need to ask me a more specific question. I'm not good at freeballing like you guys.
Were you born as competitive, not as competitive, but as skilled in CrossFit as you are now, or did you have to work for it? Did you start, where some of our members are starting now?
I basically started 3 years ago. I was training for football because that was my big goal at the time. All right, I'm leaving one school to go to a different school to try and play football. And after 2 years, after a year into football, I found CrossFit. I actually went to a gym and changed everything. But before the time I actually went to a CrossFit gym though, I was teaching myself a lot of movements. I never snatched before. I taught myself how to do that. I skipped kipping pull-ups and went straight to butterfly. Don't do that. I learned how to do double unders by myself. That was a very frustrating time during that. Getting my own bar muscle up was like a huge glory moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had that moment too. But
I think sometimes people forget that. They see you cruise through it and you're like talking through it, or a lot of the coaches or even other members, It's like, it's so easy for them and I'm struggling to even get the progression for it. It feels like this big gap. People always try to like jump to the next part of it. It's like you need to take the stairs, you need to get a little bit better each day.
yeah,
So
I think one of the other things too that people don't really know about me is I haven't had a time in my life where I've stopped training. I went from high school football to I spent a year just like strength training, like bodybuilding in college before I knew I wanted to play football. Went to football, went to CrossFit. So like there was a constant like about 9 years of strength training, just learning new stuff nonstop. Like I don't think I've taken like a month
Right.
in the entire time, So like it's always been getting that 1% better every day. After 9 years, skills I pick up now are
Right.
a lot higher than
I think it's important for people to realize that you had these struggles too.
Oh yeah.
Like I tell all these people that are kicking up into their first handstands, a lot of new people are doing it in like their first month or two. And I tell them, man, it took me 6 months of consistent practice. I broke down a wall, no joke. I almost went through a wall. I put a big ass hole in it, trying to learn how to kick up into a handstand. Like double unders, I was practicing 3 times a week for like an hour every morning, probably for 6 months before I figured them out. Back when we started, we didn't really have coaching for Olympic lifts, so that was just ugly for a few years. Yeah, man, it's a process. You got to learn. You got to take it slow, and celebrate it along the way.
Yeah, you got to enjoy the ride.
Yeah, don't be in a rush to be the best. You know, don't be in a rush to be perfect.
I heard the best quote I think ever last week or something like that. It was like, your life, huh?
Is it the best one?
For me, yeah, I've been thinking a lot. Let's get some more build up here. No, it was your life is happening right now. It's happening all around you. So we're always thinking about the past, you know, when you first learned something or whatever, your ultimate goal, whatever you're trying to do, maybe it's muscle up, whatever, but like you gotta know time is flying by right now and you gotta enjoy the ride. So take some pride in the fact you're at the gym pursuing whatever movement it is. And try to enjoy those days, like you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, I think, really good at that, actually, finally. I used to always think about, oh, where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? But I just need to enjoy where I'm at and know that I'm on the path I want to be, you know?
Mm-hmm. Try not to look at your failures as failures, but look at them as learning experiences, right?
If you don't fail, that means you're not trying hard enough, I think. If you don't fail, it means you're doing something wrong. You're not putting in enough effort in order to fail. That's what I also think, too.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
So
Another kind of off topic, but a quote I really like is, if you think back to yourself a year ago, like your personality, how you talked, all that kind of stuff, if you're not embarrassed,
every year
if you're not embarrassed, that means you didn't grow at all, which, you know, that's important. You should be a little bit embarrassed when you think back about yourself.
3 years ago.
Yeah, you ever see an old picture, you look back, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I'm always like, 3 years from now, I'm probably going to look back right now and be like, what was I thinking?
Because
last week.
if in a year you look back and you're like, oh, that guy had it all, you know, then you didn't get any better. You know, you're the same person. So. Cool. Is that where we're going to wrap up here?
If you wanted to wrap up.
I think we're good.
I think it's good. We beat a dead horse here.
All right. Blair, where can the lovely people find you on the socials?
Well, Instagram is now the Blair Wolf Project. You can add me on Facebook. I haven't reached my 5,000 friend limit yet, so we're still good. That's about it. Twitter is stupid.
He said it, not me.
I don't,
This guy.
Jared has Instagram.
Zero
man,
pictures.
Facebook. I don't know.
Everyone go find him. What's your handle on Instagram?
Who is Jared Mathieus? Doesn't even know his own handle. All times.
Yeah, let's just not do this. Let's just not do it.
We'll post it
Instagram
somewhere.
coming soon. I'm gonna join 20.
We'll post it in the
2020.
credits. All right. You're gonna get your first picture tonight. All right.
Progress. Set goals for yourself for Instagram.
Yes, yes. You can find me at
That's
Jason. Bro, I'm trying to plug myself here. At Jason J. Ewell. Follow us at Harbor Park CrossFit on Instagram and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Harbor Park CrossFit as well. And head to our website, join our mailing list, and we'll let you know every time these videos get published. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Woo!